The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please, listen at your own discretion.
Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation.
The Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
Jeffrey Dahmer to Jeffrey Dahmer to Jeffrey Dahmer to Jeffrey Dahmer. Ted Bunny to Ted Bunny to Ted Bunny to Ted Bunny. John Wayne Gacy, John Wayne Gacy John Wayne Gacy John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. Charles Manson Charles.
You're the one who said he's not a killer.
He doesn't mean he doesn't belong to be in this parody.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast. That was fun. I'm glad you did that.
See?
Yeah.
I told you would think it was funny.
I just think the stupid Baby Shark thing's annoying, but that's just me.
No, that's fine. And I have that song on my phone and listen to it a lot and dance to it by myself. Ask Tuesday, who is back in the studio after a long time.
No, she was here the last one because we were at Mom and Dad's.
Oh, right. I forgot about her ass. So
we're back, y'all.
This episode is about video nasties.
We're talking about the grossest movies. Ew.
Morgan. But technically, video nasties was, well, actually, first things first. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile is going to be on motherfucking Netflix.
That means that Netflix paid a lot of money for it, and that means, y'all, it's going to be good.
Well, but also, I mean, the same dude, Joe Berlinger Coat Factory, or whatever, he did the documentary that's on Netflix, so I guess I can kind of understand that, but that means it has to be good, because Netflix wouldn't attach themselves to something that is bad.
No. Well,
I mean, like,
some
of their stuff isn't. Like, not, I mean, you know, it's whatever. We love you, Netflix. Please work with us.
Also, if you heard weird rumbling in this episode, it's because the winds in Chicago right now are like, what, 50 miles an hour?
No, more. It's not a fucking, like, F1 tornado out there.
It's close.
It's 30, and that is a lot, and I did see a girl fall off or get pushed down by the wind on her city bike.
It's fucking lit, you guys.
It's lit, yeah. No, the lake has officially turned into a fresh body water of fresh body ocean.
Yeah.
It doesn't have tides or anything, but it does have some great boogie boarding waves.
Mm-hmm, honey.
So, again, back to video nasties.
Video nasties.
Video nasties are specifically a group of movies all of our Brit friends may know. Maybe you were alive during this time. Maybe video nasties were like your shit. And so they were heavily criticized in the UK specifically for being gratuitously gory, and like they were very popular in the 80s, but the movies range from like the 60s to like late, like I think there might even be one in the 90s.
There's
honestly.
gotta be a couple of them in the 2000s.
Oh no. This is an old thing. This video nasty thing is from like the 80s.
They need to update it.
Well,
there's too many now.
Well, no, they've all been okay. Like I was saying, these are all B movies also.
Right.
But what sets video nasties apart from other B movies is that 39 of these movies were actually prosecuted under the Obscene Publications Act in the UK.
Damn.
So these movies were convicted and were banned, like
for being so
gross. And eventually, like now, you know, the movies they made edits in the movies, and then they resubmitted them so that they've been released.
From prison?
They've been released from movie prison, yeah. Yeah, they got out of the old vault. They did hard time in the Disney vault, and now they got let out. But there are still some that are that are still banned in the UK, but it's because they've either not been resubmitted, or whenever they try to, it's still too gory. Mm-hmm. But we can all still watch them. Yeah. Because they're basically all on YouTube. Because
in this day and age, you can fucking find anything.
Well, and they're all terrible. And so I'm guessing, like...
Some of them are not terrible.
Well, no, that is very true. And,
because the ones that I've seen, I feel like are the ones that are not terrible.
Exactly. The ones that you've seen are the ones... Oh, yeah, no.
I'm surprised that the Human Centipede movies aren't on that list.
Morgan, well, the Human Centipede, technically... Well, it's just not a video nasty because it's not from that time. Video nasties were coined... I feel what you say. It's kind of like... that movie is banned in England. Like, the BBC, it is still considered
all of them,
obscene.
or just the last one?
All of them.
Yuck. I think all of them. The first one's really not that bad.
Well, that's because...
You don't even see any poop.
It's because you've seen the first two. Or the last two.
I haven't seen the third one.
No one. I've told everyone. Don't.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, no, I've told people not to. I've been like, seriously, don't.
I mean, it's just, that is gratuity. These B movies, I don't know, these are at least, like, whimsical, because they're from, like, the 80s or the 70s. So there's, like, an element of, like, it's funny, because, like, sounds don't match up.
Ever.
Because these movies are so fucking bad. But also, it was a list of 72 movies. And obviously we're not going to go in depth about 72 fucking movies, or we'd be here all day.
We'd be here for a while, and it's like already late. It's like kind of tired.
So out of the 72, 39, like I said, were like actually prosecuted. I mean, I checked on some old websites, like Wikipedia, some old like Angel Fire websites. They seem legit and whatever, but like I don't know who to believe in this economy. But actually, I did watch a documentary because we were originally going to record last night, and so I had today to look up some old. I watched some docu-walkies about some video nasties, and I found out it is 72 definitively, and I have the list. So
hell yeah, we do.
Hell yeah, bitch! We got all these juicy, nasty movies.
We got all these yucky, gross, yucky,
icky. Talk about extremely
vile,
gross, and the wickedly talented. So yeah, no, Morgan and
if you guys don't get that joke,
never forget Adele Dazeem.
Never.
Yeah. So. You'll notice that a lot of these movies have multiple titles, because of reasons because they had to be released under different titles so that they like could be like just redistributed and not have to make any edits.
So like they could make some
being
money
like
off
sneaky. But then also they would change them after they had made edits so that they wouldn't be connected to their more violent and gory predecessors. There are movies, like I said on the list, but I'm gonna go beat up. Yeah, no, like I said, like not everything I say is probably gonna be the truth. So if like you are listening and you're like, oh my god, yes, they're doing a video nasty movie, but if you're really like people know more about video nasties than I do. I mean, I've seen the majority of these movies because I got interested in it about 10 years ago. So I've had a while.
Yeah,
I've had a while. So I've seen most of them. But again, I don't know. They're just really bad. And then all of them are also mostly like the Italian version of Halloween, or the Italian version of Friday the 13th, or another person in America trying to make Friday the 13th, and then like I don't know, a jillion cannibal movies.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say the probably most known movie is Evil Dead?
On the list of like mainstream movies, yeah, like that. I mean, Evil Dead had a theatrical release.
Yeah. Well, they probably had to re-release it a couple times.
Oh, fuck yeah, we talked about that. Like Sam Raimi had to make like so many edits.
Yeah,
and that's one of the most popular ones. I would also say, well, maybe like mainstream.
Definitely the most mainstream, like
that would be
cult classic.
I would imagine. Well, not. Yeah, I guess I don't know. For me, the ones that on the list that are stand out the most are obviously that Cannibal Holocaust, The Last House on the Left.
Oh, for sure.
And I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh, for sure.
Those are the ones that I think that people probably have heard.
And those are all the ones that I've seen.
And they are mostly the ones that they've literally, all of them have had remakes except for
Cannibal Holocaust.
Wait, no, they've like literally all had
remakes.
Remakes, huh? It's almost like, well, all these movies also, like, everything is, you'll see there's like a theme. So if you're like trying to picture what these movies are, like a good example is the fake trailer in the movie Grindhouse, made by Rob Zombie, and it's his movie's Werewolf Women of the SS. Nick Cage is in it. It's amazing, but it's like that. So, and honestly, it's very like libertarian, like back like in Italy. Like there's some Nazi ones. I'm not gonna lie, they're bad. Yeah, they're really bad. They're really gross.
A lot of them are basically snuff films,
and one of them's literally called Snuff.
Hey,
and speaking of, because some of them actually you see people die. Faces of Death. Faces of Death is also probably one of them.
That's the one that I read about.
Super duper well known. Oh yeah, well,
because like when we first decided that we were gonna do this, Holly was like, "You're gonna have to watch some of these," and
Morgan was so like
bummed.
Cute. She was like, "Holly, I don't want to watch any of these movies." Okay, right here, right now.
That's not my thing. On the podcast. Like really gross stuff. It's just not for me. Okay, but I want to talk about it.
Okay, so I'm making this bet. And it's official because it's on the podcast. Okay. So, if Bohemian Rhapsody wins Best Picture, and because you, I'm assuming, are going for A Star Is Born for winning Best Picture, or do you think?
I don't think it's going to, because did you see that Bradley got basically snubbed? He didn't get a Best Director nomination.
Oh. Well, I mean,
which is fine. It was literally his first movie.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, best movie in general. Like,
I think it's going to be Bohemian Rhapsody.
You do?
Yeah,
Fuck.
sorry.
Well, then never mind.
What was it going to be?
Okay, who do you think is going to win best? Well, I'm trying to come up with a thing where if I win, you have to watch one scene from a Serbian film. Like a bet.
Let's do a different bet. I don't know.
What would you want me to do? I have to watch an entire season of RuPaul's Drag Race?
With me.
With you.
No, for a whole month.
No,
anytime we hang out.
I can't talk. I cannot talk.
I was going to say, anytime we hang out, we're watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, I don't know. That's a tough bet. We'll have to go over that one in a little more detail.
Cool.
But that came to me. But
no, yeah, I agree. I think Bohemian Rhapsody.
So yeah, so these movies also did not do very well. Horror movies in general, as we've talked about before, because this is a horror podcast and we talk about horror films, they do not do well with critics. And Siskel and Ebert were two of them that gave them two old big thumbs down. They used to have, I forgot about this, they had like a little TV show where they would just talk.
Yes.
And I hate, like, I mean, I know that it, like, is it mean to be mean to people where one of them is dead and one of them had, like, jaw replacement surgery? Because I hate.
You don't have to be mean. You can just disagree with their opinions, which is how I feel for the most part.
Yeah, I disagree with them. I mean, Ebert, honestly, not as bad, but Siskel...
They're older gentlemen who have much different opinions on things than we do.
They really fucking do. So in 1987, they had one of their little things, and they talked about video nasties. Sorry, Tuesday is like scratching her ear and also my back really hard.
Don't call it out.
Just don't call it out, man. And they just, were shitting all over them, and they were talking about how horrible they are, and they were talking about how teenagers would have these parties and see how long they could make it through the movie before, like, turning it off because it was too gross.
Oh, yeah, we've done that. I used to do that in high school.
Yeah.
But it was usually, like, really fucked up shit.
Yeah, but...
It was more like weird shit on the internet.
Yeah, no, for us it was like... Yeah, I mean, we grew up in like the two girls, one cup era.
Cup.
Oh god, yeah. Let's not get back into that.
Oh my god, I feel like I've talked about that more than once this week.
That's too many times.
That's too much. 2 girls, 1 cup.
That's too many cups and girls. So, when just videos in general, like VHS tapes, like once people were able to watch movies in their home, major film production companies, and this is something I learned in the documentary and I hadn't really given much thought about, and I was like, they were, production companies, like big ones, were hesitant to actually put their movies out onto video because they thought it would be like a threat to cinema. So the reason that there are so many B-horror films and there's so many of these like crappy movies like on VHS that you could get is because, like, they were, you know, independently made or made by, like, little tiny companies, and they became popular because, you know, they were...
Were any of these trauma films?
Trauma? What do you mean?
That was like a... They did, like, a lot of, like, B-movies. Like, they did the original Mother's Day.
Oh, no. Maybe, but...
You've talked about trauma before in an episode?
Probably.
Because I was like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. And you were like, how do you know about that?
It might be on here. It might be on another list. Who, honestly, even...
Who knew? They were just like a little independent.
Yeah, but like I said, they were incredibly controversial because they were so gory and violent, and horror movies and other violent media are always the first thing people blame when someone ever does anything wrong. Mm-hmm. Circling back to Ted Bundy. Because in his last interview he gave before, like, he was executed was with that pastor whose whole agenda was, you know, porn and violent media and movies and TV and is, like, ruining America. And Ted, like, was
latched
like,
onto that.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I killed women because of these porn and the really violent detective magazines. And then it all ended up being bullshit. Like, he said to a detective that afterwards he's like I killed women because I wanted to kill him. He's like, it had nothing to do. He just wanted to get a fucking stay. He just wanted, because he was fucking Ted Bundy. So
he just wanted to fucking kill him.
Well, yeah. Prime Minister, even Margaret Thatcher, she really backed the movement for the movies. It was kind of like a Nancy Reagan just say no to drugs situation. To put in perspective for us Yankees. And it was all because everyone was so worried about the children, because it was so easy to get these movies now, because, you know, they were just, like, at stores, and, you know, once they were in your house, like, the kid could just watch them. And it's like, okay, if they thought, like a kid isn't gonna go on a killing spree if they see fake blood and, like, a nipple.
That's not what's going to make someone kill. What's going to make someone kill is
being a psychopath.
Having psychopathic,
you know, and
shit going on.
Yeah, so what you do as a parent is just be like, hey, buddy, you know how Frozen and, like, Elsa can make things turn into ice, but, like, you can't do that in real life? Also, don't, like, kill women. And don't, like, drill holes into their heads. Don't, like, cut them up with, like, chainsaws. Like, you
gotta tell every kid that, and so they know.
Yeah, and don't fucking let them watch it.
That's what happened to Michael Myers. No one told him that.
Yeah,
no one told him. You know what I'm saying?
No one told him.
Like, no one said that to him.
No one told him that. I got a lot of this information from a British documentary called Fear, Panic, and Censorship. It's really weird, and they really demonize America, which is, I get. But they're, like, showing footage of New York City and, like, police cars and, like, police lights, and it's playing, like, oh, like that.
Everyone's eating a hot dog.
No, it's, like, trying to be
sucking down some fucking
yeah, they're
chili.
sucking on chili dogs. Yeah. So, some of the founding daddies of the video nasty, some of the video daddy nasties,
the nasty daddies,
the nasty daddies, are directors like Lucio Fulci, Ruggero Deodato, and Dario Argento.
Yeah, Dario Argento is like
dad.
Oh my god,
he's literally dad.
I mean, he's like so many
Lucio,
people. I mean, like he's like Eli
Comic.
Roth's like everything.
Well, I mean, he loves all of them. He loves Ruggero Deodato because Ruggero is who did, like, Cannibal Holocaust. Yeah. And you also see, like, Jesus Franco and Toby Hooper is actually on the list.
Yeah.
So, like, these were their jam. So let's get into the first movie. Like I said, we're not going to talk about these in great length. So the first one is Absurd. It came out in 1981. It was directed by Joe D'Amato, and it was Italian. It is also known as Anthropophagus.
Fungus.
It's really a weird word.
It's definitely an F with the PH.
Yeah, I know, but
Anthropophagus.
Anthropophagus 2.
Anthropophagus.
Yeah. Zombie 6, Monster Hunter, Horrible, and The Grim Reaper 2. So it's about a priest. He comes to a small town to help get rid of a monster whose blood coagulates really fast.
Cool.
This creates problems as the monster is very hard to kill, and then decides to go on a killing spree of its own, and literally it's just Italian Halloween.
So they're all just like doing Italian hands, but like
yeah, they're like oh, Michael Myers, why you got to kill everybody?
You killed my friend.
Yeah, no.
Is that Is this problematic of us to do that? Because I don't.
No, doing an Italian accent. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. No, we're doing
the peppercini.
Oh, peppercini. Fuck up.
The Montepulciano.
Oh, mozzarella. So
the bucatini.
So, it wouldn't be like they wouldn't be nasties without me talking about the nasty.
The nastiness.
The nasty. So,
what is nasty?
Some of the nasties are the killer reaches up a pregnant woman's vagina past her cervix into her uterus.
Oh my god!
Pulls out her fetus, the fetus, and eats it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What part does he take a bite of first? Legs or head?
I don't know, but I just read that happens actually in the next
movie.
I
was like, you're reading the wrong thing.
But to be fair, I am reading it from Anthropophagus.
Right, so...
This is the first one. For whatever reason, they didn't name... Like I said, these movies all have, so many different names. So technically, I was just reading that happened in the second one, so whatever. The gross stuff that happens into this one is a guy has, his guts coming all out. A woman gets a drill in her head. A man is split down the middle with a bandsaw, hot dog style, not hamburger. A woman is slowly burnt to death in an oven, and then a guy is stabbed in the eyes and then slowly decapitated. And then at the end, it is kind of like Halloween because the girl is just standing outside because she's a babysitter, and when everyone comes home, she's just holding the head of the killer.
Wow, that's intense.
I know. So now I'm back to Anthropophagus. This came out in 1980 because it was the sequel. So it was Joe D'Amato again. Like I said, fetus gets eaten. A woman's skin is peeled off of her face while the killer is pulling her through broken wood. So it's kind of being pulled through the wood is pulling off her skin.
Yuck.
And
Gross.
In the end, the killer is ripped open and his guts are spilling out, and he eats some of them. Because he's he looks really gross. He looks like he has leprosy. It's nasty. So it's nasty.
It's nasty.
The next movie is Axe. It's from 1974. It's also known as The Virgin Slaughter and Lisa, because Lisa is a badass. It's about these three criminals. They go on a murder spree. They arrive at a farmhouse where a girl is living with her paralyzed grandfather, but little do they know that this girl is Lisa and that she is a badass. Basically, each dude tries to rape her and then she just kills them. And it's
So it's kind of I Spit on Your Grave-ish.
But they don't even get a chance.
Nice.
She literally is just oh, that's funny. Boom, die. One of them.
Hell yeah.
One of them takes her in front of her sick ass grandpa and to make him watch, and she's that's funny. I'm actually gonna
Why are all these dudes trying to kill her?
Because they're criminals. They're just
right,
it's supposed to be probably, actually I don't know, because I think this came out before Last House on the
Does she kill them in really gross ways?
Yeah, she kills them with
farm tools.
No, she has a knife, and then she uses a poker, maybe, I don't know, because she's by a fireplace when the dude tries to sexually assault her. But she's Kill Bill good at killing these guys, though. And I just think it's funny that one of the songs on the soundtrack is called Smelling Up the Kitchen.
What?
Yeah. I think she might feed one of, because there's three of them, but then two of them will go, and then one of them will try to rape her, and then one of them will come back. It's a weird Goldilocks situation. So the next one is The Beast in Heat. It came out in 1977. Ow. Yeah, no, this one is gross because now we're starting to get into some of the fucking Nazi shit. So this was made by Luigi Bazzella. He's Italian, and this movie was Italian. It's also called Seven Doors of Death. This one is really fucking disgusting. It has there's this woman, and she's in charge of this SS experiment camp, and they make this hybrid creepy little man he's so gross. He's just a hairy little dude, and he literally rips out a girl's pubic hair,
Ow.
They, like, rip off women's nipples. And they, like,
that just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, this movie is fucking disgusting.
I love my nipples.
I know.
They're, like, my favorite thing.
And then they do the grossest thing, which is, like, they like, lay this woman down and strap her down. They put rats on her stomach, put a bucket over the rats, and light it on fire so that they, eat into her.
I think that's happened in other movies, right?
Yeah, I think it literally happens in, like, the second Fast and Furious movie. Almost.
What's the movie that like, they do something
Edward James
like that
Almost.
There's, like, a current horror movie where they do that. I just don't remember what it is.
I don't know. It's very disgusting.
So that's where that came from, though.
Probably
because that was something that they probably actually did.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up.
I would say that the most disgusting part of this movie, and probably... Well, I mean, obviously, Nazi is probably not anything that regarding is not going to do very well. But there is a point where a Nazi throws a baby up into the air and shoots it.
Well, that literally happens in that one book.
Yeah.
So that's probably where they got that from. What's that book called?
I honestly don't know.
It was one that we had to read in school, and it's really fucked up.
Oh, yeah, well, because that fucking happened. I think it might happen in Schindler's
really
List.
Happened.
That would happen. I think they did it a lot. That's fucked up. I don't like that shit. No one does. No one should. So, the next movie is The Beyond. It's by Lucio Fulci. He's one of the daddies. It was made in 1981. Fuck. Why do I keep fucking shit up? This one was not known as... Whatever. I said, I'm going to be fucking things up. So this one is a woman inherits this like old hotel in Louisiana. And, like there's a bunch of supernatural accidents, and she learns that the building was built onto the entrances of hell. And it's just basically a zombie movie.
Always a good movie, mate.
So there's lots of, really bloody kills. There's The Bay of Blood. That's one of the more popular ones. In the movie Juno, actually, there's one of these movies, I don't know which one it is, it might be the next one, but you know how, like, there's, like, a really creepy part where, Ellen Page and Jason Bateman's character, like, kind of have, like, a weird, like, relationship thing going on, and he, like, shows a really gross movie. It's one of these. But Bay of Blood, made by Mario Bava, it's Italian. It's also known as Bloodbath. The murder of a wealthy heiress by her husband triggers a series of brutal killings in the surrounding area. Bay Area. So they must be in the San Francisco of Italy. Blood Feast. It was made in 1963. This is the one I think they watched because this one's really fucking old. An Egyptian caretaker kills various women in suburban Miami to use their body parts to bring back to life a dormant Egyptian princess, while an inept police detective tries to track him down. This is like the oldest ones, and the trailer has an opener, and I'm gonna play it for you because it kind of, I think, it like seems like it's probably like the first Red Band trailer. So here's that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness some scenes from the next attraction to play this theater. This picture, truly one of the most unusual ever filmed, contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset. We urgently recommend that if you are such a person or the parent of a young or impressionable child now in attendance, that you and the child leave the auditorium for the next 90 seconds.
That very much so reminded me of like the Last House on the Left one where like don't
keep telling yourself
it's only a movie. It's only a movie.
Yeah, that was like
back in the day they had some like intense like disclaimers.
Yeah, no, and Morgan and I watched the whole thing, and it's so bad.
Oh, it's bad.
It's like a guy's face, and then like a very quick cut to a very bloody woman, like chopped
with clearly
up.
Paint on her.
Yeah, but like keep in mind though that this was 1963.
Oh yeah, we've come so far.
So just imagine, like, people were not used to seeing that shit at all. No. And I mean, like, they pulled some Temple of Doom, Kali Ma.
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of crappy.
I mean, it looks shitty, but, like, that will, like, fucking that would fuck people up back then, because like they're not used to seeing that kind of gore. So I can understand why that really
fucked with them.
Weird guy had to talk and like literally for the next 90 seconds. It's like, wow, you know exactly how long your trailer is.
Well, most trailers are either 60 seconds or 90 seconds.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So it's like literally, like I said, it's not even that good. There's literally just blood everywhere. Right. So the next one, Blood Rights, 1968, Andy Milligan. It's an American movie. It's also called The Ghastly Ones or Blood Orgy.
Hey.
3 married couples are forced to spend the vacation in a Victorian-era house where they start getting killed off by a deranged psycho who's bent on claiming an inheritance that they are all entitled to. All of the trailers for these has like that horror trailer movie voice where it's like, never before have you seen such atrocity towards humanity on the screen. And it's like, okay, buddy, calm down. Okay.
It's like, you are gonna shit your pants.
They're like, this,
and then pee.
Yeah, this movie is gonna make you have to go to jail. I don't know.
It's this movie is gonna make you forget where your keys are. And you're not gonna be able to get home.
This movie is gonna forget you have kids.
This movie's gonna wipe your mind clean, and you're never gonna even know who you are again.
This it's insane. Like, but I mean that like sells movies. Like being told like this movie's gonna make you shit your pants.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, like
I mean, that's what people were saying with like Haunting of Hill House. They're like, it's so scary, people are passing out, and I'm like, bitch, why?
Well, that's like what they said with, and I've said it on the podcast before with Paranormal Activity 3, where they're like, the last 15 minutes will change your life. And it's like, man, have you heard about Jerry? He's been in...
Have you seen the third?
Dude.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, my friend Jerry has been in the hospital for seriously 40 years because he saw the last 15 minutes of Paranormal Activity 3. Yeah.
3 is the best one.
3 is pretty fucking good.
It did kind of change my life.
I just love any movie where someone gets fucking broken in half. That just is so terrifying. So the next one's Bloody Moon, 1981. Director Jesus Franco, or I imagine it would be Franco. I keep saying Franco because like
James Franco,
and because I'm from Chicago. So this movie is just basically it's in Spain. It's at an all-girls school in Spain. All they want to do is, like, go out and have some fun, but they run into a bloodthirsty killer.
Always. All of these movies, except for, like, one, have been serial killers.
Yeah, there's a lot of killers, there's a lot of zombies, and there's a lot of Nazis. Nazis, cannibals, lots of fucking cannibals. Yeah, right now we're just in the Bloods.
Not a lot of ghost stuff, but I guess ghost stuff.
There's, like, some haunting shit.
Okay, cool.
So the next one is called The Boogeyman, not to be confused with the... Matt from Seventh Heaven one that came out.
Oh god, that movie's so bad.
Yeah, not that this one is any better, but
at least it made it on a list.
Yeah, it came out in 1980 and was directed by Uli Lamel. Through the reflection in the mirror, a girl witnesses her mother's boyfriend's murder. Okay. So it's a little convoluted. This one is literally, honestly though, trying to make a Halloween remake. Like literally down to the music stings, like, you know, like the and I'm pretty sure they use an establishing shot of the house from Halloween.
What the fuck? Did you watch it?
I watched the trailer and I've seen the movie. Yeah, I don't remember the movie, but when I was watching the trailer, I was like, wait, what? I was like, why? Maybe I'll show that one to you later. The next one is The Burning. Came out in 1981, directed by Tony Maylam, who's American. Unfortunately, Harvey Weinstein was a co-writer for this movie.
Gross.
And it was also trying to piggyback off of Friday the 13th. It's a former summer camp. There's a caretaker. He's horribly... So it's kind of like Friday the 13th and... what's it called? Nightmare on Elm Street, because he's horribly burned from a prank gone wrong, and he lurks at a camp bent on killing the teenagers responsible for his disfigurement.
Literally a mix.
Yeah.
So unoriginal and stupid. Bye.
Unoriginal. Bye. Dumb. Sorry. The next is Cannibal.
Probably wasn't even gross.
Probably wasn't even gross. No, it was. There's yuckies. So the next. Now we're getting into some cannibal shit.
Yeah.
We got the Cannibal Apocalypse. Came out in 1980 by Antonio Margheriti. It's Italian/Spanish. It's also known as Cannibal in the Streets.
Cannibal in the Streets. Baby girl in the sheets.
Shut up. Cannibal in the Streets. Zombie in the sheets.
Every day.
Oh, gross. It's about 2 Vietnam vets that bring back a contagious virus that turns people into cannibals. And it's basically just Night of the Living Dead, but with cannibals.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's Cannibal Ferox. This is actually a pretty good movie. Came out in 1981. It was,
You're sure it's not Furrow?
No, it's Ferox, because I always thought it was Furrow too, and then I heard it and I was like, oh, it is Ferox.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Les Mis, and you're like, how do I say that other... You just go... I'm like, do I say Les Miserables?
Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
I hate the way your mouth looks when you do that.
No, you have to do that.
Les Miserables.
Yeah. It's really fun to say.
Les Miserables.
It's like saying Louis Vuitton or like La Croix water.
La Croix.
It's funny. It's just fun to be French. I'm sorry, we're not trying to like romanticize or fetishize French or Italian accents in this episode, and if we are, bon nuit? I don't know how to say sorry. Mm-hmm. I might have just said goodnight. So, anything. Cannibal Ferox is a lot like Cannibal Holocaust to the point where I get them confused. This one is 3 friends are out to disprove cannibalism, and they meet 2 men on the run and they're all tortured and enslaved by a cannibal tribe. I remember this one is super gross. The cannibals have this guy sit, like, under a table, and like there's a hole cut in the table, and so
that
like
already sounds like a sexual scene for me.
Well, it's about to get super unsexy or sexy depending on what you're into now. I don't know. So just like the top part of his head is like available, and so they chop off his head and just start like scooping out his brain. Does that turn you on?
No.
Good. Let's see. So next we come to Cannibal Holocaust, the Orig. Rogero Deodato, 1980. During a rescue mission into the Amazon rainforest, a professor stumbles across a lost film shot by a missing documentary crew. We've talked about Cannibal Holocaust a bunch. They kill a turtle. It's really sad because they actually kill it.
Yeah.
They kill like a rodent of some...
Poor turtle.
I know. And in another movie, they like literally like cut a snake in half with scissors, and I'm like, ah, I'm mad. Like, I don't like when they actually kill movies.
No,
like in Friday the 13th, they like fucking like use like a sword and like kill the... Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, that's not cool with me.
No, not cool with me either, bitch. So next is The Cannibal Band. Came out in 1979, directed by Eloy de la Iglesia. It's a young man, Marco, working as a butcher, accidentally kills a taxi driver. His girlfriend wants to go to the police, so he has to kill her. He then has to kill... Then he kills his brother, and then he kills his brother's fiance and her father, because they start to become suspicious, and then he gets rid of the bodies by taking them to a slaughterhouse.
Whoa.
And then he turns into a cannibal, and he eats them.
Yuck.
So then there's Cannibal Terror. It came out in 1980 by Alain Deruel. Sorry, my Italian is not great.
Deruel.
After botching a kidnapping, 2 criminals hide with their victim in a friend's house in the jungle. After one of them rapes the friend's wife, they're left to be eaten by a nearby cannibal tribe. You know what? Don't feel too bad for those guys.
No.
You know what? That's a good revenge.
That's a
good revenge. So next is Contamination. Also, some of these movies, if you have the Shudder, if you have a Shudder account, I already said they're literally all on fucking
YouTube.
They're all on YouTube, baby.
But a lot of them are also on Shudder.
A lot of them are on Shudder, and cool. Contamination is one of them. It's by Luigi Cosi. Came out in 1980. It's Italian. A former astronaut helps a government agent and a police detective track the source of Mysterian alien pod spores filled with lethal, flesh-dissolving acid to a South American coffee plantation controlled by alien pod clones.
Alien pod clones.
Yeah. So this one... Yeah. So that one's, trying to be a little sci-fi. Dead and Buried, that one's also on Shudder, if you interested. If you nasty for some videos. It came out in 1981 by Gary Sherman. It's English. This is a horror film set in a small coastal town. After a series of gory murders are committed by mobs of town people against visiting tourists, the corpse begin coming back to life. So, zombies. Then we have Death Trap, not to be confused with Death Trap, like the Grindhouse movie. Mm-hmm. This one is also known as Eaten Alive, and it was made by Toby.
That's Death Proof.
Oh, you're right. I'm dumb. This was by Toby Hooper.
Well, what?
Yeah, so the same guy who made Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not on the list.
It's not that gory.
It's not really that gory.
It's just weird.
A lot of people think it's on the list. A lot of people think A Clockwork Orange is on the list, but A Clockwork Orange is really
just
not
weird.
Gory. It's just it's just really cool.
Yeah.
It's just like, cool. And you know what he doesn't do? Kill his snake. You know what he's really nice to? His snake. Anyways, so... this movie is really bad. This movie is really fucking bad. Robert Englund is in it. And it's just like, he owns this like dilapidated hotel, and there's just like this big crocodile that comes and eats people.
What?
It's very stupid. It's very bad. The next is Deep River Savages, came out in 1972. This is number 20.
Yeah, we're on only number 20, you guys.
Yeah, okay, well, this is what the podcast is about, Morgan. So, like, what exactly do you think is going to happen other than this? Like, do you think I'm just randomly going to start talking about something else?
Yeah, dinosaurs.
I can do that. So, next, Deep River Savages, like I said, 1972.
Savages.
I know. It was by Umberto Lenzi. He was Italian. It's also known as Sacrifice!
All caps.
No, exclamation point.
Oh.
And it's also called Man from the Deep River. After a photographer is captured by a native tribe and put through several trials, he must fight to protect the village and his new love interest, the chief's daughter.
Ooh.
Yeah. Next is Delirium, 1968, also by Jesus Franco. And it's also known as Succubus, so, got that vampire vibe. This stripper, just kind of floating around in the 60s. It's very, very, bizarre. And it is called Delirium. And it's very just, it's like if you wrote...
It's kind of like you feel like you're on drugs when you're watching
Exactly. It's very much like that.
Cool.
It's just very, visually, whoa. It's like a movie to get high and watch, basically, I guess. Next, The Devil Hunter came out in 1980, also by Jesus Franco. Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus Franco. In this one, a Vietnam veteran heads to an island inhabited by cannibals to save a kidnapped model, not only from her kidnappers, but also from the cannibals' lurking devil god. So this one has an element of
supernatural
Vietnam, yes, a little supernatural, some demons, also cannibals, and some kidnapping.
Cool.
So now we're getting into the don'ts. This is when the 70s and 80s, mostly 70s, they kept telling us not to do shit. So first, don't go into the house. Came out in 1979 by Joseph Ellison. Don't go into the house. A disturbed young man who was burned as a child by his sadistic mother stalks women with a flamethrower. It's one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite films. Quentin Tarantino has his own little movie festival, and this is the first movie that played at his first film festival.
Love that.
So now the next place we're not allowed to go. Don't go into the woods.
Don't.
Came out in 1981, James Bryan, and it's about, a killer who kills people in the woods.
So don't go there.
Next place we can't go. The park. Don't go into the park. Don't go. No. Don't go near the park. Don't even go near.
Don't even go to the perimeter of the park.
Don't even go around it. Honestly, keep your distance.
Which park?
From this. They don't say. The National Mall? I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Runaways are attacked by evil beings from the far past. So
in the
this
park.
one near the park.
Near a park.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Near some park.
Okay, so next place. Don't go into the basement.
Oh my god, don't.
1973, SF Brown Rig. It's American. It's also known as The Forgotten.
Let me guess. There's a sadistic serial killer living in the basement.
No. A young psychiatric nurse goes to work at a lonesome asylum following a murder, and there she experiences varied degrees of torment from the patients in the basement. Yeah, so it's like the hospital, and they have this, shitty basement scenario going on, kind of like, asylum, literally like American Horror Story, asylum. The next we got, so we're out of the don'ts. So
Okay,
you guys
that's fun.
don't go in the house, don't go into the woods, don't go near the park, and don't go in the basement.
All of those, don't do it.
Don't do it. So now we on to Driller Killer.
Whoa.
Came out in 1979
Is it
by
a dentist?
Abel Ferrer. No, it is an artist who slowly goes insane while struggling to pay his bills. He's working on his paintings.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, right. He's just trying to care for his 2 female roommates because it's the 70s and people, it's like it's like a Chrissy.
Yeah, it's always like a Chrissy and whatever.
And the brown-haired one and John Ritter.
That's like me, Mike, and Maria. Am I the Chrissy?
Aw.
Or is Maria the Chrissy?
I don't know. Who's bigger tits?
Maria.
Shout out to
But not
Maria.
by much.
So he like roams the streets of New York and kills like random homeless people with a power drill. So the next
intense
is
it like a battery one or is he plugging it in? Like
he has like a very long extension cord.
Like so long. He has like a I don't know.
He has to plug it in. He
has one of those suitcases that has like an outlet in it.
Yes. That
can like charge your phone for like 7 days or something.
Yeah, exactly. He has one of those chargers. The next is The Evil Dead, obviously the most popular one on the list by Sam Raimi, 1981. We've talked about that. We talked about that in the Killer Cabin in the Woods movie.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it just a lot.
Yeah, and it's a great movie.
It's a
Everybody loves Ash. So the next is Evil Speak, came out in 1981 by Eric Weston. An outcast military cadet taps into a way to summon demons and cast spells on his tormentors through his
I love that
wait
this
for
is
it computer. Yeah.
I only just now realized that it's alphabetical now in the E's.
Now in the E's, yeah. That's why sometimes it gets confusing. Or it was confusing because they have different names. So that's why I would have it on the list as one thing, and then in the trailer it would say something else, and I'm like, huh?
Right.
I'm like, wait, what? And then you have to be like, am I watching the right thing? Especially with all the blood ones, I'm like,
yeah,
like what blood am I watching right now? So
which blood is this?
What blood is this? So so I tried spreading it out a little for to be intense, but his tormentors come out through his computer, which is weirdly how I think the world is going to end. I think the internet is eventually going to come out of computers and kill us.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't really use mine that much, but like phones too.
Yeah, no, a phone is just a tiny little computer you hold in your hand. It has an entire...
I never noticed if someone was coming out.
No.
Slam it on the ground.
Dude, no, it's like... it's airborne. I haven't thought it all through.
Cool.
So, and I'm not the one executing it. So, the next movie is Exposé. We're on number 30.
We hit the 30s.
1976. The James Canillan Clark. It is English. It is also called Trauma. A paranoid writer is unable to get started on a second novel, and he hires a secretary, and then his troubles really start to begin. The next is Faces of Death, 1978. John Allen Schwartz. So this is a mockumentary. It's hosted by this guy whose name is Dr.
So this was the
B.
first
Francis
one
Gross.
that I looked into once you sent me the list of all of them, because I was like, oh, I've definitely heard of Faces of Death.
Who hasn't gone over to their friend's basement and watched Faces of Death?
Me, because I've never seen it. But I went to IMDb and went to the parental guidance where it tells you everything, and...
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you all the stuff. So... I mean, there's fake scenes. Yeah,
there's a lot of like stuff they actually filmed, but then there's a lot of actual shit.
Oh yeah, it's
like,
fake scenes.
All of the animals dying are real.
There's fake scenes.
I can't watch that.
Intermixed with like footage of real accidents. There's executions, decapitations, and yeah, they kill a monkey. And they eat its brains. Right? Animals are shot. There's some satanic orgies using dead bodies. There's a segment that deals with an alligator that accidentally entered residential waters.
Yeah. And it like kills a cop or something like that. Like, like whatever, that doesn't gross me.
And then
much,
the
it's
film,
not real, or is it?
That stuff I don't know is real, but the film ends with newsreel footage of people jumping off buildings and major accidents, and those are real. And so this is the one they talked about the most in that Siskel Ebert thing I was telling you about. And Siskel goes like on and on about the faces of death, and it's like, whatever, dude. Like, these movies weren't made for you. They were made for teenagers who like sitting in their basements. Yeah.
They're made for people who need a thrill.
Well, yeah, and I mean, honestly, like, these movies, they're fun for teenagers. They're not fun for grown-ups, because when you're a grown-up, you're seeing this shit actually happen.
As I've grown up, like, I probably could have watched those movies if we had this podcast when I was, like, 16 or 17. I would have been like, hell yeah. But now I'm like, oh my god, that's so not what I want to spend my days off doing.
Yeah, like, I want to watch a good movie. Like,
watching people get murdered. Like, no, girl, I want to watch, like...
We know you just want to watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Well, there's a lot of other things, too.
And tasty videos.
Like Real Housewives of New York.
Yeah, that, too.
Or, like, other stuff.
Or, like, other stuff. But, they show a clip, and it is not funny because this couple eventually, I think, dies. I don't know if this is one of the real ones or not, but it's this couple, and they drive up to a bear, and they're trying to feed it, and this guy is just, like, throwing pieces of bread at the bear's face.
Rude.
And there's just a voiceover of the woman repeatedly being like, "Be careful, Bob. 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 Be careful. Bob." So I don't know. R.I.P. Bob. And
Bob dies, not the woman.
I don't know. They're supposedly attacked. I don't remember, though. There's so many Faces of Death movies. It's truly quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
So next we get to Flesh of Frankenstein.
Because the point of the movie is seeing people's faces when they literally die.
Yeah.
I don't know if we, made that clear yet.
I mean, it's in the name, but, that literally...
Yeah, but that could also just be a dope-ass name.
Yeah, I think I didn't know that, actually.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. So, next is Flesh of Frankenstein, and this is also known as Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. Baron Frankenstein creates 2 zombies, one male, one female, planning to make them into a master race of zombie Aryans. So you can see why it would be controversial. Andy Warhol, not as cool as everyone thinks. You know why he said such weird shit? Because he was always on drugs. Not everyone is going to get 15 minutes of fame. Like, he was on drugs. Most people, you're never going to know about them. And you know what? That's okay. It doesn't make them less important. Oh, hey, my screensaver just started. It's, really pretty. So I'm going to, type in my password really quick. Not going to give it out. Not that anyone would try to break into my server or anything. You better fucking not. So, let's see. The next one is Fight for Your Life. It's from 1977. Robert Endelson. It's just a trashy exploitation. 3 convicts escape. And it's kind of supposed to be like Last House on the Left. Next is Forest of Fear. Came out in 1980. It's also known as Toxic Zombies. And after drug crops are sprayed with a chemical by a passing airplane, the whole town turns into zombie mutants. And so then it's just turns into this whole zombie thing. The next one is Frozen Scream. It is about a mad scientist.
Frozen Scream? That makes me want ice cream.
Well, it came out in 1975, and it was directed by Frank Roach.
Roach!
Mad scientists turn people into frozen zombies. So, very much... British people must just not have liked zombies.
Yeah, well, they're
gross.
Weird.
I mean, honestly, a zombie is technically a cannibal. Zombies...
Not all zombies.
For all intents and purposes. People, no, they're all want to eat flesh. Their main thing, their main political platform is eat brains.
Okay,
I want to eat your brains. Okay, cool. Zombies are just flip-flopped.
Never been my thing.
Yeah, no. No. So we get to Funhouse, The Funhouse rather, another Tobe Hooper feature. Cool. 1981.
This one sounds familiar.
It's about 4 teenage friends, and they spend the night in a carnival funhouse, and they're stalked by a crazy man wearing this says Frankenstein mask, but we all know it's the monster of Frankenstein mask. At least the racist Andy Warhol movie at least remembered that part.
Yeah.
The next movie is Gestapo's Last Orgy. 1977. A Jewish World War II survivor revisits the ruins of a hellish concentration camp. The memories are still vivid. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're so bad. I'm so fucking sorry.
Seriously.
How did she escape the humiliation, the tortures, and the destruction of human flesh? How did she flee from Gestapo's last orgy? You'll have to watch and see. Or don't, because it's really gross and offensive.
Unless you like it.
Yeah, let's just say things get weird whenever the word orgy is in the title of a movie.
Yeah.
So now we get to some of the house stuff.
Okay.
So this house is by a cemetery. Came out in 1981 by Lucio Fulci, Daddy. A New England home is terrorized by a series of murderers. Unbeknownst to the guests that a gruesome secret is hiding in the basement. So there's also some shit going on in the basement and the cemetery. So now there's the house on the edge of the park. I wonder if this is I wonder if it's the same park. Wait. So
it's gotta be the same fucking park.
Hold on. Okay,
because maybe because the house on the edge of the park, that's why you don't go near the park.
Because of that house.
Because that house is at the edge of it.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, this one was by Ruggiero Deodato. Did we just figure something out? Wait, hold on. Let me try.
Sequel?
Whoa, then yeah, hold on. Wait, let me go back because I don't think he did that other. He didn't do "Don't Go Near the Park." But that one did come out in 1979, and this one did come out in 1980, so you don't know.
Who knows? But either way, don't go near the house on the edge of the park, and don't go near the park.
So, okay, we thought the house was okay, but we just learned out that's not okay either. So if you see a house, don't go near that either.
Don't go near that either. So seriously, like, the whole perimeter.
Or
don't.
Just don't.
Don't.
We don't know what park it is. Maybe just stay away from parks for a while. I don't know, man. Just until things quiet down.
Parks, houses, basements in houses.
Parks, basement.
Mostly parks. Stay away from parks.
Attics, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, attics are creepy, but like... Yeah.
So this one is about two low-life punks. They invite themselves to a party at a posh villa after being taunted by their snobbish hosts, and they hold everyone hostage.
This is the house on the edge of the park?
Yeah, and they subject them to various forms of torture and mayhem.
So that's what's happening by the park.
Yeah, that's what's happening by the park. That's why you don't want to go near it. Don't. Because, like, those two low-life punks might grab you. They hang out by the perimeter. Everyone knows that the bigger dinosaurs hang out at the edge of out on the outer side. Remember Jurassic Park 3? Girl who's texting someone right now?
Sorry.
Are you texting your bae?
Maybe.
Cool. So the next movie is called... Actually, I'll do this one first just because you're texting your bae. It's called I Miss You, Hugs and Kisses.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Wow, what a full circle kind of thing.
Right? It's came out in 1978 by Murray Markowitz. I almost said Mouskowitz, like in American Tail. And a woman is murdered and her millionaire husband is accused. But is he guilty?
You'll never know. Or maybe you will. If you watch the movie.
Spoiler alert. Yes. So,
oh God, that was good.
The one before it, actually, since I had to do the other one first, Human Experiments. Country single Rachel is arrested and charged with murder and placed in prison. After psychiatric sessions run by Dr. Klein, whose idea of mental health is to erase the patient's personality and completely replace it with a new one by brainwashing them. Yeah, so he gets them to like do a bunch of fucked up shit. So the next movie is Inferno, and this one is also super good. This one is also on Shudder. It came out in 1980, and this one is Dario Argento, so obviously it's gonna be fucking good. He made fucking Suspiria. He made... I don't know why I started talking like that. So, an American college student in Rome and his sister in New York start investigating a series of killings in both locations where their resident addresses are the domain of two covens of witches.
Ooh.
Yeah. Dario Argento love himself some witches, because Suspiria is like witchy too. James Woods actually was supposed to play the male lead, but he didn't because he was already signed on to do the movie Videodrome, which is also hella weird and creepy and fucked up. It is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen in my
Not on
entire
this list,
fucking life. No, Blondie is in it though. Ooh. No, it's not on this list, but I don't know why. It's just so fucking weird. It's so weird, dude.
Yeah.
David Cronenberg, man, he's like, whoa.
For sure.
So, number 43 is Island of Death. Ooh! Ooh!
Sorry, that was a weird noise.
It's okay. You couldn't handle. It's cool. 1976. Director Nico Mastorakis.
That's right.
A couple of perverted and maniac killers get let loose on a Greek island.
Yikes.
So that's why his last name is Mastorakis or whatever. So next we get to number 44, I Spit on Your Grave.
Ooh, such a feel-good lady film.
Yeah, no, I would honestly say it's the number one women's feel-good movie of 1978. It was directed by Mir Zarchi. It is also, I thought you'd like this since it's the German word. It's Ich spunk auf den Grab.
That was good.
Ich spuk? Really? Thank you.
Ich spuck auf dein Grab in German. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it is in German. It's also called The Day of the Woman.
Auf dein.
Okay, cool. Cruel. No, grab is part of it. So it's about this bitch, Jennifer. She's a writer. She's, like, trying to, like, you know, get her groove back. She goes to, you know, fucking the gas station when she first gets into town. There's some creepos. They make some eyes at her. Huge red flag. I think she's wearing a red sweater, honestly. She goes back. She gets raped a lot. She gets raped, like, a bunch.
And, like, by a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Like, all at once. So, like, there's no way for her to get away at that point.
It is the movie that has the longest rape scene of any movie.
Still?
Still, yeah. It's literally 25 minutes long. The movie is about 100 minutes long, so that means a fourth of this movie is just rape.
Yeah. It's really fucked up.
While I was reading this, I kept thinking of the movie There Will Be Blood with I Drink Your Milkshake, and I kept thinking of I Spit on Your Milkshake.
I spit on your milkshake.
Or I drink your grave.
I spit in your milkshake.
I spit on your milkshake.
It's so rude. I'd be like, ew.
I know, I'd be like, rude.
Nothing makes, like, milk stuff grosser than spit.
I know. Nothing makes milkshakes hotter than Daniel Day-Lewis.
True.
So the next movie is Killer Nun, also known as Killer Habit, which is fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
That is hilarious. That is one of the best puns. It was made by Gilo Burrito, I don't know. A demented nun sliding through morphine addiction into madness while presiding over a regime of lesbianism, torture, and death. Sister Gertrude is the head nurse/nun in a general hospital whose increasingly psychotic behavior endangers the staff and patients around her. A lot of these are, like, women in very, like, they're kind of female empowering in a way, even when they are blatantly racist. Like these women who are, like, in charge and, like, I mean, yeah, they're crazy and do crazy shit, but I mean, like, usually it's men playing those roles. Yeah. So that's cool. So the next biggie is The Last House on the Left, made by the biggest daddy.
Our daddy, Wes Craven.
Yeah, 1972. You know, it's two
Is
girls.
this his only one on this list? Because he made a lot of, like, random other movies that are, like, weird.
Well, yeah, there's that one fucking porno I watched of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched, like, all of that movie. I don't know why I did that. No, but none of his other ones are on here. 'Cause
I'm glad he's on the list, though.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Well, The Last House on the Left is super fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of brutal rape scenes, that one, oh boy. We've talked about that movie, though, before. So, the next is The Late Stop on Night Train by Aldo Lodo. It's a pair of psychotic hoodlums and an equally demented nymphomaniac woman who terrorize young girls on a train from a trip to Germany to Italy. So, basically, Last House on the Left, but on a train.
I was going to say, what year did it come out in?
I forgot. I forgot to write it down.
Cool, man.
You had to. The one I forgot the one I forgot you asked me when it came out, you silly bitch. So, the next one is The Living Dead of Manchester Morgue. Came out in 1972 by George Grew, or George Grau. It's also called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, or Don't Open the Door. So there's something else we're not allowed to do. Don't open the door. Don't go in the house.
Don't go near the park.
So technically, to get into a house, you would have to open the door.
Yeah.
So don't open that
door.
So
don't go in any houses.
Don't. A cop chases two hippies suspected of a series of Manson family-like murders. The real culprits are actually fucking zombies.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. They were brought to life with the thirst for human flesh by a chemical pesticide. So that was also a thing. Maybe that was like a fear for people, probably. Like that, Big Brother's gonna fucking... I mean, that literally is what happens in the spoiler alert to anyone with the Maze Runner. That's what makes everyone go crazy. Is they're trying to kill people off.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I just ruined, the Scorch Trials for you? I don't know. I think I ruined, the Death... I don't know. There's so many of those books. They are really good, though. Way better than the movies. The movies are absolute garbage.
Yeah.
The books are so fucking good. But I mean, also, they're YA. But, that's, the emotional range I'm at in my life, so it's okay.
I love YA.
Yeah. Number 49 is Love Camp 7, 1969 by Lee Frost. Two female army agents go undercover at a Nazi prison camp to get information from a scientist being held there. So, more creepy, crappy Nazi shit. Next is Madhouse, number 50.
Yeah.
It is from 1983 by George B. Cosmatos, which is a hard last name to say because you really want to say Cosmos, and you really want to say Cosmo, and you really want to say Comatose.
You really want to say Cosmo and Wanda.
Yeah, it's called... That's funny. It's also called Of Unknown Origin. It's a man who recently completed rebuilding a townhouse, and he becomes obsessed with a rat infestation until it becomes an interspecies duel. So it's like man against rat. So it's kind of like Mousetrap, but rat trap? I don't know. It's literally Chicago, honestly, you guys.
What's that movie Willard about? Isn't it about rats?
Yeah, it's kind of like this, I guess. Willard, loves rats, and all I really know about Willard is that he loves rats, and he parts his hair down the middle, and it's...
it's the guy
what is that
from,
guy? What is his name? I'm
Charlie's Angels, who, likes smelling Drew Barrymore's hair.
Yeah, he's also... fuck. I'm
literally...
Know
his real name.
We're gonna take a break because this is gonna piss me off.
Cool.
We're back. You know what I didn't mention to you earlier? You looked a lot like Steve Jobs in your black turtleneck. Yeah.
It's so cold at my work, I have to wear a turtleneck.
Yes.
But anyways, what was the guy's name?
Okay, I literally realized as I was typing it in.
And the glasses, I did look like Steve Jobs.
You looked exactly like Steve Jobs. Crispin Glover. Duh. It's the dad from Back to the Future. That was Willard.
Yeah.
That's Willard. He's a really weird-ass guy, which is why he's not in the second one.
The second what?
The second Back to the Future movie.
Ew.
Yeah. They, self-imposed his face onto someone else. We're only on movie 51. We got shit to do. So, there's Mardi Gras Massacre, 1978 by Jack Weiss.
Let me guess, it takes place in New Orleans.
Yes, baby. Police try capturing someone who committed ritual murders of women during Mardi Gras.
Whoa, cool.
It's also not called by anything because I went ahead in my notes. So, the next movie is called Nightmare Maker, 1981 by William Asher. It's an English movie. It's also called Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker, which I like.
Ooh, I like that better.
I like that a lot better. It's about an orphan teenager who finds himself dominated by his aunt, who's hellbent on keeping him with her at all costs. The next movie is Nightmare in a Damaged Brain, and it's also just called Nightmare. Cool. It's from 1981. was made by Romano Scavolini. And it's Italian, obviously. It's about a mental patient who embarks on a murder spree upon escaping from an institution. So these are also very problematic because it's perpetuating the idea that someone in a mental institution, if they break loose and let to their own devices, they're gonna murder people. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there are, people who are murderers who are, unfit to stand trial, and they go to asylums and whatever, and we should, they're there to be kept away from the... I don't know why I'm talking about this right now. You either? Me too. So, next we got Night of the Bloody Apes.
Yuck.
Yeah, instead of Planet of the Apes, it's Bloody Ones.
And it's just at nighttime.
1969 by René Cardona. It's a cheap Mexican horror film. It's kind of like a remake of the movie Doom, I guess. There's a female... It's like there's a wrestler, so there's whole lucha thing kind of going on, I think. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just about, killers... Someone has leukemia, he decided he's gonna put, a gorilla's heart into the kid, and, it makes the kid turn into a big, gross ape. Yeah, it's, weird. Especially because leukemia is blood cancer, not heart cancer.
Nope.
So maybe they think if his heart is different, it's gonna pump his blood differently. I don't know. This was a poorly thought out idea. Mm-hmm. So next we got Night of the Demons.
Ooh.
1988 by Kevin Tenney. In its English. 10 teenagers at a party at an abandoned funeral parlor Halloween night. Picture it. There's an evil force awakened. Demonic spirits keep them from leaving and turn their haunting party into a living hell.
Ooh.
One of the more gorier scenes in this, there's some super neck breakage.
Neck
breakage.
They were gonna say naked something, and I was like,
I thought I was gonna say Nate Dog. I thought I was gonna start singing Nate Dog.
Nate Dog.
There's some eye gouging. Mm-hmm. A woman's tongue is ripped out.
Weird.
A man swallows a razor blade, and you can see it cutting his throat from the inside.
Yuck.
Right. Next movie is Possession. It's by Andrzej Zulawski, and I think Andrew Zedge looks like the French version of Andrew to me.
Cool.
It's from 1981. A woman starts exhibiting increasingly disturbing behavior after asking her husband for a divorce. Suspicions of infidelity soon give away to something more sinister.
Great. No. Sounds sexist.
Yeah.
If a woman wants a divorce, she must be possessed by Satan.
Well, this was also before... this was before the No Fault. Or actually... I don't know. This was 1981. I know that No Fault divorce came out, was established in 1981, but maybe she was like, there's a demon, so I have to get divorced. So, before, No Fault, you had to, somebody had to cheat or, murder someone. I don't know. There had to be a reason.
Yeah, you couldn't just say
irreconcilable differences. That movie?
Very that, yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't just be like, hey, we fucking hate each other now.
Hey, he sucks.
Hey, so we made a really
I didn't realize
big
it,
mistake.
but he sucks.
Yeah. He, really sucks. I made a mistake.
He sucks.
He sucks.
Dude, he sucks.
Dude, he, sucks. Anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, back to,
sorry, that noise hurt my throat.
Coughing Morgan and, the no-fault divorce law. So now we're on to Pranks, which came out in 1982. It was directed by Stephen Carpenter and Jeffrey Obrow. It's also called The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Wow, wow, a.k.a. me and my roommates when we were both on our period.
Shut up. There were only 2 of you. This is 4 college students that are stalked by their periods.
Really?
No! They're stalked by their periods?
Dude, that's what it feels like sometimes.
I know.
I feel I'm being stalked.
I know.
I feel personally attacked.
Right before your period, you look around a corner and you're like, wait, is my period coming?
You're like,
is that my period? Wait.
It's like in the Evil Dead when you get possessed. It's like
Shut
that.
up. It's literally...
It'd be like that.
It'd be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a Christmassy one. They decide...
Wait, the dorm room one?
Yeah, they decide the 4 kids, they decide to stay on campus over the holidays and to help clear out a dormitory, and it gets demolished, and some pranks go on, and their dorm starts dripping blood.
Dripping.
So we're back to cannibals. Prisoner of the Cannibal Guard, 1978, by Sergio Martino.
Mm-hmm.
It's Italian. It's also called Slave of the Cannibal Guard. So, slave and prisoner, 2 different things, obviously.
Cool.
A girl and her brother fly to New Guinea to book a lost expedition because they're trying to find her husband because he vanished.
Mm-hmm.
And they're met up with cannibals, so it's basically like Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Cannibal Midrealm. So now we get to Revenge of the Boogeyman.
Whoa!
Also known as Boogeyman 2. It came out.
He come back.
Boogeyman, guess who's
Is
back,
this
bitch?
a sequel to the previous one on the list?
It is.
Wow.
And this one came out in 1983.
This is the only one that has like a sequel on the list, right?
No, remember I got the first 2 confused. The Anthropopophagus, like 14 years ago when we started talking about these movies.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like that situation.
Cool.
So it's about this girl named Lacey. I'm sorry, it's also directed by Bruce Pern. Not to be confused with Bruce Dern. Bruce Pern. That sounds like someone who forgot Bruce Dern's name. They're like, hey, remember that movie about that guy like driving to what is that movie? Like driving to Nebraska or something?
No idea, dude.
You know that guy Bruce Pern? And his daughter from Jurassic Park, Laura Pern.
Don't.
I'm sorry. So she goes to Hollywood. She goes to the home of film director, and she brings along the last surviving haunted mirror shard from the end of the first movie.
Cool.
And it so it's kind of like meta. Mm-hmm. So like she brings something from the first movie and it like curses the second movie.
Tight.
So
very the Brady Bunch episode where they go to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
It's the tiki guy, fucking goddamn Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Thank God he leaves behind that popcorn trail, and thank God fucking.
I feel like we talk about the Hawaii episode of Brady Bunch too much.
I don't think we talk about it enough. I fucking love that episode.
Me too.
Greg?
I like the part where Greg almost dies.
Oh my god. I just love how they play the part where Greg almost dies about 5 different times. Same scene. It's also Greg at his prime. Greg is so sexy.
Okay, anyway.
Sorry.
Jesus.
We do. To get off of fucking that guy.
Greg.
Yeah, sorry, Barry. God, thinking of Barry Williams made me totally forget what I was even thinking of.
Are you sweating? Because it's freezing in here because we don't have the heat on and it's like 11 degrees
Barry
out.
Williams gives me the vapors.
Jeez Louise.
So anyways, we're on to number 60. The Slayer, 1982, J.R. Cardone. It's English. 2 couples become stranded on a rugged island. They are haunted by supernatural beasts, and the beasts are drawn to their wives. And some killings go on and some rapings by beasts. It's weird. All these movies are weird. And to be honest, I have not seen all of them because there's 72 and there's a lot of them, and I'm only one girl, and I know it's been 10 years, but like I've seen like the good ones. I've seen this one, Snuff. This one is bad. Like, it's boring. Snuff. Like, that's why all these are also bad, because they're also... they're B movies. They don't have good plots.
Or great acting.
Yeah, no. It's like, they just literally, like...
But they're still entertaining.
No, they are. But it's like they walked into, like, a gas station and was like, hey, does any girl here want to be in my movie?
Right.
Because, like, you go to all of these actresses' pages and they haven't been in anything else. I think they just found them at the bus stop. Probably. They're like, hey, I want to be in this horror movie for a second? And she's like, okay. So, Snuff was 1975. A lot of people thought that this was an actual snuff film. Mm-hmm. And it's called Snuff because it's about a cult leader, and he's also it's a cult leader gang of bikers. So like Hell's Angels if they were a cult. Have you seen in the movie Mandy? There's actually like a cult, and they're like bikers. It's really cool. Everyone watch Mandy. Also on Shudder. Fucking cool. Also as Nick Cage. He fucking is amazing in it. There is a scene. I think I may have talked about it. Who plays Mandy? This actress who like. She has this
It's not Amber Heard.
It's not Amber Heard.
Okay. I'm thinking of something else.
You are thinking of the movie Drive Angry, and that movie is fucking garbage.
No, but she's also in a horror movie with the title of something Mandy.
I think you're right. Something
so
like
you can
that.
see where I would be confused.
I can totally see, and I'm not mad at you. So the next one is called SS Experiment Love Camp.
Okay.
Gross, 1976, by Sergio Girone. It is Italian. Near the end of World War II, prisoners of war are used in experiments to perfect the Aryan race. So basically, the Holocaust. So basically what actually happened with a mix of love. I don't know. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like the...
Yeah, what's love about it?
Well, it's because it's like, they're very sexual, because it's like these female Nazis, like wardens, and they have like big old titties, and like, you know, there's
and
just
what are
lots
they doing?
of nudity.
And just like performing experiments?
Yeah, like they're doing like the doctor, I forget his name. Like the, you know, the one really bad doctor from the Holocaust. Who did all of those really, really bad experiments.
Yes,
I know there were a lot of them, but like there was a main guy.
Yeah, that's the one that they're ripping off of an American Horror Story Asylum.
Playing an homage, I would say. Playing an homage.
Well, yeah.
The next one is called Tenebrae. It is also Dario Argento. Cool. This one is also really good, and it's also on Shudder. It's from 1982. An American writer from Rome is stalked by a serial killer bent on harassing him while killing all people associated with his work on his latest book. Argento said that it's supposed to be a sci-fi that takes place 5 years in the future, so...
Just 5.
So 1987.
Just 5 years only in the future.
1982.
About 5 years.
You know, about 5 years.
So you've got about, like, 5 new iPhones.
Yeah, in 1987. I mean, you got me. You got me. I'll be there. I was in that movie. No, I wasn't. Tenebrae is Italian for darkness or shadows. Ooh. And this is another one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies that he is also... He's a big Dario Argento fan. Mm-hmm. He's a big... I mean, obviously, he made the movie fucking Grindhouse, and these played at, like... If these did play ever, like, in, like, a theatrical manner, it was, like, you know...
Grindhouse movies,
There were Grindhouse movies, too. Next, we get to Terror Eyes. Not like, you know, like terrorize.
No,
but,
I get the play of words.
Yeah, but I'm just explaining it to our listeners who aren't seeing the words.
Separate. Yeah. Not the word terrorize.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
This is terror, one word, space, eyes. Like what you see with.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks for clearing that up. It came out in 1989. It was directed by, let's count them out, Eric Parkinson, Michael Reese, Steve Summers. Something tells me a movie... doesn't need 3 directors.
That's too many cooks in the kitchen, y'all.
That's what
but maybe like a couple got fired throughout the making of it.
I don't know. That is very true. So it's about a frustrated advertising executive, and he gets a job assignment from her boss, or she gets. I'm sorry, I fucking assumed it was a man. My bad. So this female advertising executive gets a job from her boss to write a screenplay for a horror film. Recruiting the help of her friends and a week-long camping expedition becomes a forum for each to share their scary stories, which become frightfully real.
That sounds cool, actually.
That sounds really cool. I feel like I should have maybe watched that one. I don't know. So, on to 65, The Toolbox Murders, which I think...
is an actual thing.
Was an actual killer. Yeah. I have the book over there. I forget what his name was. I would pause this again, but I don't feel like getting up.
Gross one who like...
No, that was the toy.
Oh yeah, I'm
killer.
thinking of toy. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's what we're thinking of. We're thinking of the.
Yeah, I don't think there was a
killer.
toolbox killer. We're thinking of the toy box killer.
And I don't want to talk about that man right now.
Yeah. No.
This one came out in 1978 by Dennis Donnelly. It's English. It's a ski mask maniac, and he kills people in his apartment complex with contents from a toolbox.
Okay.
Lots of women are drilled in the head.
Ouch.
Yeah. Unhinged is the next. 1982, Don Grunquist. 3 college girls are on their way to a jazz festival, accidentally crash their car in the isolated woods during a rainstorm, and are taken by a mysterious family into an old mansion. You know how you're reading something and you think you're doing really good, and then you
were
fuck
good
up
until
the word,
mansion.
until I said mashin? Yeah. Little do the girls know, the family has a dark, murderous secret.
Ooh.
It said they like to sew people ass to mouth. It is.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It's very that.
You never know. Like, maybe they're gonna take you and make you watch their dead grandpa eat dinner, like in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. Maybe it's gonna be a weird surgeon who's gonna sew you to, your mouth to an Asian guy who's forced to eat fucking poop, and he poops in your mouth. Yeah, it's really, it's a bummer.
A lot of poop.
Next movie is Visiting Hours by Jean-Claude Lord, which is a fucking dope-ass name. Mm-hmm. Jean-Claude Lord? Mm-hmm. Changing my name to that when I get married. Because when you get married, it's the only time, like, you can change your name for free. Otherwise, it costs you money.
Really?
Yeah. I found that out. I also found that out from someone who also told me that dogs can't walk backwards, so maybe this isn't accurate.
I feel like it's not.
Now that I'm saying it out loud to another person. I don't know. It's about a deranged, misogynistic killer who assaults journalists, female journalists. He, hold on. These descriptions that I wrote down make absolutely no fucking sense. So it's about a misogynistic killer, and he's like stalking this journalist. He attacks her. When she finds out that she survives the attack, he like finishes her off in the hospital, kills all the hospital people. A.K. why it's called Visiting Hours. Mm-hmm. Takes place in a hospital. So now we got The Werewolf and the Yeti by Miguel Iglesias. It's also called Night of the Howling Beast. And, it's just basically... Honestly, this one's really weird. They go hiking in the Himalayas. Mm-hmm. They're captured by 2 cannibalistic demon nymphomaniac women who are guarding a remote Buddhist temple. Demons and Buddha, okay. And these men become their sex slaves, and the women transform them into werewolves, and they set them loose on the mountain, and then they encounter a Yeti and kills them. Yeah. So that's that movie. Mm-hmm. Number 69 on the video Nasties is The Witch Who Came from the I wish it was the next movie. It would be so much better, but it's The Witch Who Came from the Sea.
Ew, the sea.
Written by Matt Clymer. Not to make fun of his last name, but that's not sexy. So, let's see. It's English. A disturbed woman is haunted by memories of childhood abuse, and it makes her go on a murder spree. So, number 70, which would have been much better for 69, is Women Behind Bars. I remember hearing about this movie. Mm-hmm. It came out in 1975 by our boy Jesus Franco. A small-time hoodlum brings the attention of the law with an insurance scam and diamond theft, but things become even more interesting when his Mall murders him and is slammed behind bars when she faces all manner of electric shock treatments. Okay, no, that's not what this movie is about. I'm sorry that I copied and pasted that. This is basically just about a bunch of weird shit happening to women in jail. And they're naked. And, like, it's real sexy. I haven't seen this one, but, like, this one I know is, like,
it's more, like, dirty than...
It's, like, more...
like, horror.
Horror, yeah. It's, like, it's very porny.
Okay.
I almost dropped my iPad mini. Or my iPad skinny.
My skinny mocha iPad.
My skinny mocha iPad. So, 71... trombones in the big... Oh, no, it's 76. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zombie Creeping Flesh came out in 1980 by Bruno Mars. I mean, Bruno Mattei. It's also known as Hell of the Living Dead. A tough female reporter and her cameraman boyfriend team up with a 4-man commando unit in New Guinea jungle fighting flesh-eating zombies. So people were really afraid of fucking this. That's why these movies are all so problematic, is because everyone thinks that like going into the deep depths of Africa, which is an entire continent, as is South America. So they're just like generalizing these continents as having, which, to be fair, there are islands. I'm pretty sure it's South America. There is an island where no other people have ever been before, and like when airplanes or like people try to get close, the people on the island like would shoot them with like bows and arrows. Like they don't want anybody to know, dude.
That's crazy.
And like I get it, I get it. It's just so weird, like to think like they literally know nothing. I mean, we know nothing they know.
Yeah.
But like they literally, it's like The Village.
They don't know anything. Yeah.
It's like they would be so...
Well, I mean, that's like when Eli Roth went to film
The Green
Inferno. Those people had no idea what movies were.
Yeah, I mean...
They didn't even know what a movie was. He had to explain to them what movies were.
He really lucked out that he didn't find one of the ones... Because there are actual cannibalistic...
Yeah, of course.
Tribes still. I mean, it's not like how it's portrayed in these movies where they, like, kidnap people. It's more of a ritualistic thing.
Yeah.
So, final one on the list is number 72, and it's just called Zombie, Zombie, Zombie. By the Cranberries.
What was Zombie about?
I don't know. It's about being in your head, in your head.
That's how we're gonna end this.
Zombie. Yeah, completely.
Zombie.
It's that like reverse yodel thing.
Zombie.
This one, and we're also closing out with one of the Nasty Daddies, Lucio Fulci. Mm-hmm. Strangers searching for a young woman's missing father arrive at a tropical island where a doctor desperately seeks the cause and cure of a recent epidemic of the undead. They are zombies.
Duh.
This movie has zombies. This movie has sharks. It is great.
Really?
This is a good movie. Yeah.
Why are there sharks?
I don't know.
You haven't seen it?
I have. The sharks attack the zombies. It's really weird. This one's also on Shudder.
Did the sharks look cool?
The sharks look... No, it all looks so... It's
when
not like great.
Oh, 79.
79. So, I mean, it's not great.
There's sharks?
There's sharks.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like... Zombies, biting off pieces of flesh. Zombies getting attacked by sharks. Zombies being killed by Molotov cocktails. And so, that's our episode.
That's the video nasties. We got a little long episode for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, there were 72 of those nasty-ass movies, everybody. 72. So, like and subscribe, or, hit us comment, subscribe.
Leave
We're
us
on
reviews.
Facebook. We're Facebook at the Sisters Grimm Podcast. You know what? Just do a Google search of the Sisters Grimm Podcast.
And we're there. You'll find us.
And, I just really think it's the end. It's the end. It's the end. It's the end. Yeah!
Gross.